It's a guy named David in a Middle Eastern country. Got an email about him. He's a student in a school of preaching, if you will, where he's learning to be a teacher and a preacher and an evangelist. David's got a wife and two small children. And while he is a student, he has established a congregation in this Middle Eastern country, and recently had 6 people convert to Christ that he helped teach. It was not long ago, before the making of this video, that some of a religious group that I won't name for purposes, I don't want to give away his identity at all and make things possibly more difficult for him, but from another religion, some thugs decided that he needed to be stopped, and so they went to his house. They took a fence post and they beat David in front of his wife and his 2 young children. They broke, I can't remember, I know it was at least one arm and one leg. In this country, COVID has spiked once again. Hospitals are packed full. He can't go to a hospital. He can't get proper treatment. So he's gone to the equivalent of a country doctor, and he's been laying at home nursing his wounds. And his only crime is his faith. And because others disagree with him, they have tried to destroy his life, destroy his health, destroy his family. Let's just start with that. I'm Zach. This is The Average Christian, a project simply about what it means to have a relationship with God. How do I live that out in practical terms? And let's keep each other accountable as well as be accountable ourselves. And thinking about David, I'm going to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 27. We read verses like this, and it's difficult for me, probably for you too, to look at this and connect. And when you hear a story about David and you watch the trajectory of Christianity and the acceptance of it in our culture, these things start to become more front of the mind instead of back of the mind. And Jesus says the following as he sends out this limited commission, these people to go out and teach the Jews and try to share the gospel, if you will, with them. He gives them instructions, and he is sending them out as sheep amongst wolves, and he knows there is going to be rejection. They are going to be arrested. They are going to be pulled in front of elected officials or officials, government officials, and they're going to have a hard time. They're not supposed to take extras with them on the way. They will be provided for. They need to have faith in the Lord. And when these difficult times come, amongst other things, Jesus tells them, he says the following in verse 27, Matthew 10:27, "What I tell you in the dark, say in the light. And what you hear whispered, proclaim on the housetops. Be loud about it. Go out and tell people, do not shy away." And then here is this statement, verse 28, "Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul." Now, if I'm reading that in David's presence right now, the man that's suffered this beating, it's going to read a lot different and feel a lot different. Once again, do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. It's a big ask. I mean, that's when you've got to face it. I can't imagine. Honestly, I really can't. Rather fear him, God that is, who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father, but even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore. You are of more value than many sparrows. So everyone who acknowledges, verse 32, everyone who acknowledges me before men, other versions say confess, I also will acknowledge before my Father who is in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I also will deny before my Father who is in heaven. I had a good friend when I was younger, still a good friend, great friend. One of my best friends growing up was Curtis. And Curtis wasn't quote unquote cool and part of that crowd and didn't care about any of those kinds of things. And I remember going to try out for football my 7th grade year, and Curtis came with me because we did mostly everything together. Cool, quote unquote, is starting to kick in. And Curtis comes with me and he says a few things that are, I don't know, uncool, off a little bit. We're walking down to a store after football practice, and we're with a bunch of 8th graders who I really want to be in good with. And Curtis says a few things, and one of the guys ends up asking me if, is he with you? And I said, nope. To this day, I remember the look on his face. I remember saying that to that guy, and I remember the feeling and still have that same feeling, just denying a friend because it didn't fit. And here Jesus is saying, if you deny me, and that's not just saying I love Jesus, that's denying his teachings as well. Because notice how when things are starting to get tough, people start changing the Bible and changing the belief systems in order to be accepted by other groups and be accepted by the world around. I see that happening. You probably do too. And Jesus says, if you deny me, I'm going to deny you in front of my Father. If you'll acknowledge me, if you'll confess me. And that was David's sin for the world around him, is confessing Jesus. It's not allowed. It's against the law where he lives to convert, to teach. And it's getting close to being against the law to be a Christian where he lives. And the question becomes, am I going to deny? And it may be getting closer and closer. We are, it can be career killing. It can be channel killing to say that you're with Jesus, that you are a Christian. How far will you go? And I just thought I would give his example. I thought we could learn from it as well. And I need to think about it. What am I willing to say? Am I going to do Jesus like I did my friend years ago and say, I'm not really with him? Am I going to hide this? It doesn't mean I have to be out and shouting and in people's faces, but hiding from it? Not at all. Because once again, he told these men, go out, what's whispered, shout it from the housetops. And so I want you to use that as encouragement about this question that's becoming more and more close to home in our country, in our society. Thank you for being with us. If you are watching on YouTube and you have not already, please subscribe. Hit this button below, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be alerted when new material comes out. If you want to see what we released last week or what YouTube recommends, those videos are over here. For those listening on podcast, we thank you as well. Please subscribe, rate, and review. And we're asking everybody to share this with somebody else if you think it'll help them.